I'm Cameron Bren.
And I'm Lee Afiao.
And this is the pilot of the Impartial Theorists channel we're launching on YouTube. So we live in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm a journalist. Lee is also. That's how we met.
Kind of a journalist, not really though.
Yeah. Intro. Beginner journalist. You're writing for a newspaper, so that, I would say kind of. Even though, anyhow, so this is WRT radio station. This is where we're going to be recording this.
Probably in a better studio next time.
Yeah, this is the middle studio. We're between this dude rocking out over here.
Yeah, way too hard for it's like 3 on a Friday. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and then we got Labor Radio getting produced in the background. You might be able to see some action back there happening. Yeah. This is episode 1. No guest, because who knows who we are, so no one really cares. But we want to debate you if you want to debate us. So come on here,
Talk your shit.
If you're local, hit us up in the comments,
Yep.
And just get your ass in here, and we will debate you if you want to debate shit.
Respond and shit. Yeah, we'll be polite though, but we might not necessarily agree with what you say, but we'll be polite.
Yeah, getting to the name, Impartial Theorists. The idea is we're trying to be impartial on everything,
but not really. But not. Not really. Yeah.
Well, we're going to get into that. That's actually point 1 of discussion of episode 1 here is, can you be impartial? Because we're calling our show that, so we might as well have some fucking thoughts on that. What was I going to say? So...
Ideal observer.
Oh, yeah. Well... So yeah, we're just trying to talk about ideas, we're not trying to we're gonna have our own opinions on things, but we want to give everybody every idea a fair shot. We will look at it from all sides. We're not coming in with the angle or the slant. We're coming in, with our own views, but which I would say are preferential to openness. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting
we like to see both sides and see where people are coming from, but if your shit is bullshit, we'll call it bullshit. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, we're gonna hop into this. When we were talking about the idea or the name of the show, Impartial Theorists, came across this idea, the ideal observer. And so I thought that'd be worth talking about, since that's kind of along the lines here. To define that, the ideal observer, or the main idea of the ideal observer theory, is that ethical terms should be defined after the pattern of the following example. X is better than Y. If anyone, in respect of X and Y, was fully informed and vividly imaginative, impartial, in a calm frame of mind, and otherwise normal, they would prefer X to Y. So, let's say, we're talking about news issues. A lot of times in the news these days, there's not just an open debate on it, but more so coming at it from a political ideology and framing it in such a way that, this is either, the Republicans screwed up here, or the Democrats screwed up, or somebody's in the right, somebody's in the wrong. So anyway, the idea here would be that, is it possible to get to a point of impartiality? So if me here, Lee here, can look at any idea, whether that's some ideology or philosophy you have, or just some way you're perceiving things, is there a threshold of that ideal observer that we can achieve here, and that can we be fully informed? Can we be vividly imaginative, impartial, in a calm frame of mind, and otherwise normal, so that we can at least pretend there's some truth to our ideas or what we're saying here. How I feel about that personally, I think it's kind of tough to say. I think it can be achieved to a degree that's, practical, and I think there can be some truth, but I do think that the idea that, our own personal experiences is going to kind of...
Yeah, change, and it's going to influence our opinions, yeah. And to that point, I'm from Africa, he's from America, so we have different upbringings and all that shit, so we might see things pretty differently, as you would see when we start talking about the rest of shit. As you would see when we start talking about the topics and everything that we're going to go through. Yeah.
But to that point, I mean, we're from two pretty far places on Earth, about as far as you can get. I mean, but I would say, like, here's an example of two people that do have different backgrounds, are from different parts of the world, but can see eye to eye on a lot of shit. So I think that kind of also flies in the face of, like, it's not, I mean, certainly, like, I've had friends from India or China where, like, there are cultural gaps where it's hard to, I don't know, reach a point in conversation. I think of, one of my friends from India, like, there's a lot of stuff we would talk about that just kind of, like, culturally just didn't seem like we could kind of get on the same understanding. But I don't know, at the same time, I feel like enough so that I could, like, understand at least where they're coming from. Not, like, totally get it, but I could kind of, like, chalk it up to that, like, oh, well, yeah, it's a, like, cultural background you had. So, I don't know. To me, it's kind of like it could go both ways. I think there's more that people can relate on, regardless of where they're from. Certainly, there's going to be those differences, and I think that perspective is something that is helpful to have. Listening to people, like, I mean, for example, whenever you tell me about how shit goes down in Ghana, like, I think that's always really interesting, and, like, just getting that perspective, like, obviously I don't have that, and I mean, unless I go live in Africa for a few years, I'm really not going to, so, I mean, I think there is that for sure, but I think also, like, I can listen to you, and I can hear you out, and I can imagine, like, maybe I've never experienced the exact same thing, but through communication, through empathy, through understanding,
You can get you can get a general idea, and honestly, I think that's all you kind of need if you really want to understand somebody, and if you're trying to make the effort, is you can pretty much understand anybody.
All right, so we've got a few topics lined up here to talk about. Is this the first one?
Yeah, it's Scaramucci, the Mooch.
The Mooch.
I don't even fucking know what to call him. He's honestly the best thing that happened to Trump in a minute. And hear me out, but he makes shit so much fun. That's just my, like, I don't support anything that he says or does, but honestly, I feel like he's playing a long game, and that shit just interesting to watch. Like, he's somebody that you love to hate, basically, because the shit he said this week, like, even Trump hasn't said shit that crazy, but the thing is, he's not fucking dumb. He's not stupid at all. At least, what do you think?
I think it's interesting. I would say, first of all, I think the Mooch is, like, the logical progression in Trump land. Like,
like if it was a show, like if this was a TV show, like this is the season 2 opener. Like, you just he needs to be there to progress the shit forward. Sometimes you need to let go of old people like Spicer. He became stale, man. Yeah, even SNL can't really make any more Spicer jokes. He's run out. But now they can bring a whole new cast member, all that shit, and the same as for Trump.
Oh my god.
Yo,
the first skit
it's good.
SNL.
You know that shit's gonna be about Scaramucci.
Yes.
That shit's gonna be so good. Oh my.
It's gonna be ridiculous again.
Because it started getting stale close to the end. Like, I was tired of the fucking what's his name? Fucking Alex Baldwin fucking Trump shit. It
Oh
started
yeah,
getting
and
old.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, Melissa McCarthy was fucking treasure every single time, but Spicer didn't do that much shit. He did the same thing every fucking time. Like she ran the joke dry. So, yeah, but
Yeah. So, but what I think is, so the Mooch obviously has got, a history here where at one point he was not really supporting Trump. He wrote this op-ed kind of saying that Trump was like the moral decay of the Republican Party. That was before. I don't know, he's talked about this all on TV and everything, and like cleared the air apparently. And him and Trump are, they got that worked out. So, yeah, this one really weird. Full transparency. I'm deleting old tweets. Past views evolved and shouldn't be a distraction. I think I was watching Colbert last night, and they were just like, that is, how do you say it's like saying full transparency, I'm like shredding all my like financial documents. It's like, how can full transparency be followed by I'm deleting my old tweets? It's like,
it kind of is.
Is it full transparency? I'm announcing that I'm doing this, or is it like
some type?
Because the deleting tweets, that is not transparency at all.
It's self-serving transparency. It's just to say that he did it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, to say that you're doing it, I get that, like saying, "Hey, like transparency, I'm deleting tweets." Like, but the actual deleting the tweets is the opposite of transparency. Announcing you're doing it, sure, I can see that. But, yeah. Well, what I wonder though is like, so given this stuff, it just seems really odd. He is just too enthusiastic. He's been skeptical. It just seems to me, is he looking for power for himself, or is he really? Is he trying to bring down Trump? Is that it? Almost makes me start thinking
that's mid-season. We won't know till like episode 12. You gotta wait for that shit, but
but how long can he stay in the game? Because
I think he's gonna outlast everybody. Littlefinger is still in fucking Game of Thrones. He should have died fucking season 2. That's just how people like that are. We'll find out eventually. Maybe he's like Littlefinger. He just wants to fuck Ivanka. Like I don't know, but shit, I don't think we should add that. that here.
But he's got like the reason I was saying that like it makes sense logically is because he's got the personality. Like it almost seems like him and Trump like were high school chums.
Nah, he practiced that shit. He's literally copying Trump's mannerisms. Like it's all planned. Like even the hand motions and shit. He learned that shit. He's making it seem like he's like a Trump supporter in a traditional sense, but he really isn't. He's not that. I don't want to call Trump supporters dumb, but I think he's a little bit more evolved than to blindly follow somebody. So I think it's all self-serving. At least that's my opinion.
Well, I mean, he eats cheeseburgers and pizza like Trump voters, so like. Did you see that comment?
Yeah. I'm telling you, even that was a strategically placed comment. Because he knows what's gonna make headlines. And the whole fucking leaking of him about to fire somebody, which he kind of did himself.
Yeah.
And then made it a whole issue, which people are just gonna eat up. Unless you actually read the shit that he did, you probably wouldn't know about that. But shit, he's playing a game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just hard to. I mean, for comedy's sake, for entertainment's sake, like we've hit gold here for sure. How this is gonna play out in the Trump administration, it's just, I don't know. It's really, how is anything? It's so tough, but this particular one, I would say, yeah, it's definitely a exciting twist in that. Yeah, shit's gonna get real, because Scaramucci is on some next level.
Yep, he's already trying to take down Bannon, Priebus, and then what's the name of the other goblin? I forget his shit. Fucking Sessions, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he's probably gonna succeed. And the fact that he's been here a week and he's got about as much influence as Bannon is crazy. because Bannon low-key run this shit. And Scaramucci just came in as a fucking aide, might I say. And he's already fucking on top. Literally. Like, Trump listens to this dude already. Even though he knew this dude used to talk shit about him. Which is kind of... it's kind of Trump's MO. He does that fake friends. Just people being part of the entourage. I don't get why he does that, but... And I think Scaramucci just saw an opening. So he took it. Yeah. He said we're a little bit. Do you want to read this?
Which one?
This part.
We are a little bit like brothers, where we rough each other up once in a while. But he's a dear friend.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, they were friends, right? Before they have a history. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he was a Wall Street guy, so...
Yeah, well, a lot of Trump's friends probably didn't want him to become president. If you have a dumbass friend, he might still be a friend, he might still be cool, he might be a little bit racist shit. But you don't want him to run the country even though you love him. Fuck that shit. Nah.
Well, yeah, and I think that's what, like, he was on Fox Business News, and that was, like, the comments he was saying, come at me, Trump, or whatever. Those was, like, he was criticizing him for going after Wall Street. I think he made, that was, like, in the primaries, he made some comments about Wall Street, and so at the time, yeah, Scaramucci was sticking up for his Wall Street bros, even though, yeah, I don't know. How's that worked out with Trump so far, huh?
That could be one of the reasons why he's in the White House. To be an inside man for his Wall Street interest. That could be it. It might not be, but it could be. Yeah.
Yeah, and then our homeboy, Priebus, who's from Wisconsin here.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so... I mean, there's quite a bit on Scaramucci already. That is what's so amazing is, yeah, 1 week in, we've got so many just great comments. I mean, that's what I'm saying. For
This right
just get on YouTube, hit the late night cycle, joke after joke. I mean, Scaramucci he's Italian mannerisms, tough guy, Italian New Yorker attitude.
He's overplaying that shit though. He's overplaying that shit. It's a game. I'm telling
That's
you.
what I'm saying though. It's so caricature that it's.
He's a good
it can
actor.
be anything
Though.
other than entertaining.
He's a good actor. He's a wonderful actor. I gotta give that to him. Like the phone calls and shit. Like apparently he called a New Yorker, the New Yorker's Ryan Lizzo, I don't fucking know, and he said, I want to fucking kill. I'm quoting by the way. I want to fucking kill all the leakers, and I want to get the president's agenda on track so we can succeed for the American people. That sentence on its own, like if you dissect that shit, like the first part and the second part don't go together, even though it seems like they do. It's like he emphasizes, and I feel like he didn't have to say that on the record, but he did it on purpose, even though he makes it seem like it's an accident and all that shit. Like he really didn't have to say, I want to kill all the fucking leakers. He did it. He did. Oh, what do you think?
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like all these comments are just like, what? Why?
They
Like
seem,
you have to.
it seems systematic, man. At least I might be over analyzing this. If you want, you can tell me I am. Shit, I really might be. 90% I might be, but it seems kind of weird.
I mean, I think it's just like one of those same things with Trump, where it's like, it's either he's just a total, like, he's either not thinking things through at all and just like flying by the seat of his pants, or he's like a genius mastermind.
No,
like,
Trump he's ad-libbing. I think it's not necessarily genius. He figured out that people like that shit, so he just let himself say whatever he wanted to say. At first, I feel like he was trying to be more presidential, and he realized that he really didn't have to, and that's what's making him popular, so he just let it go. Like the whole anti-PC shit kind of was one of the huge factors that contributed to his winning, so I feel like Scaramucci also wanted to add that since it's the same fucking fan base, you might as well play the hits, and I think that's what he's doing.
We go here.
Yeah, this is the first. It's not supposed to be that good.
Alright, god damn it.
I think you should include that.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, before we start with North Korea, we wanted to watch a super deluxe clip about what the US can do about North Korea.
Earlier this month, North Korea carried out their first successful test launch of an intercontinental ballistic missile, or ICBM. This was a huge step forward toward their goal of becoming a fully nuclear-armed nation capable of long-range attack. Now we're running out of ways to slow or reverse North Korea's nuclear advance. I know this sounds bad, but there are still a few options available and a lot of experts working hard to find the best one. Let's take a look at what we can do. Option 1 is containment, or limiting North Korea's ability to expand its influence. That's what we did with the Soviet Union during the Cold War, and that
Like typical
kind of worked.
vlogs.
But we've been doing this for a
Yeah,
while
it's actually
already,
quite
and North Korea
serious.
is still accelerating their nuclear development, so... Well, okay. Option 2 then. We can step up sanctions and increase our military presence off the Korean peninsula. But North Korea knew that would be a consequence of the test launch on the 4th, and they did it anyway. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's see. Option 3. We can put pressure on China to use its leverage against North Korea. 85% of North Korea's trade is with China. If China were to cut this lifeline, North Korea would suffer. But China doesn't want to do that, and also our diplomatic relations with China aren't super great right now. Okay. Option 4. We can make a deal with North Korea to suspend our military exercises in South Korea in exchange for them ending their nuclear program. So that could work. I mean, that would kind of weaken America's military influence in Asia. And the alliance between the US and South Korea is one of the main preventative measures we're currently using against North Korea, but, you know, win some, lose some, right? Okay, I guess this would hinge on Kim Jong-un actually agreeing to suspend his nuclear program. Kim Jong-un has seen Saddam Hussein and Muammar al-Gaddafi surrender or lose their nuclear programs, and he knows that tends to end in public execution. He considers his nuclear capability to be essential to preserving his power, so he's probably gonna, hold on to that. Oh boy. So that brings us to the military options then, which are not as optimal, but I mean, if we have to do it, it's gonna be fine. Okay, so option 5, we threaten a preemptive strike if we detect an imminent ICBM launch, taking out the missile on the launch pad. Yeah, this was first proposed in 2006, which was 11 years ago, and a lot's changed since
fucking
then.
crazy,
Principally, the big thing that's changed is that North Korea has, well, they've got a lot more missiles now, and a lot of artillery pointed at South Korea's capital, Seoul.
I don't like this video is kind of fucking
people.
funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so what if North Korea does manage to launch an ICBM?
Why does that look like
nuclear
lipstick?
warhead at the United States?
Like a
Option
marker.
6, we shoot the missile down. We currently have anti-ballistic missile systems in place, and in tests we've done, many of them sometimes work. Oh god. Of course, then if North Korea does launch a nuke at us, we have to retaliate, and then they'll just probably, blow everything up before we do, and that'll be, that'll work out just, super good! Awesome! Oh my god. Oh, we're screwed. This is gonna be fine. No, we're fine! Everything's fine.
That's a fucking amazing video.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, that's a good video. We'll throw a link in the description there. Gets kind of serious and also kind of funny, but it is a kind of serious, kind of funny situation. I mean, we have an existential threat from a god. Kim Jong-un is a god. So, it's a challenging situation.
Yep, to say the least. I feel like America's had to deal with more rational dictators and shit. This again is gonna sound fucked up, but I think Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein were a lot more rational than fucking Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un is a little tiny fucking Asian boy that runs a fucking country with nuclear weapons. Do you know how crazy that is? But and he low-key doesn't give a fuck about the consequences, because This,
I mean, he's a god.
yeah.
What can you do when you're a god? You're immortal. You're, all powerful. People worship you. Like, that kind of go to your head.
You know,
Nuclear weapons would go to your head. It's a bad mix. And then on the other end of that, we've got President of the United States, Donald Trump.
he shouldn't say shit about. I don't think he's tweeted about it yet. He did when they said they're gonna do some shit, but he hasn't tweeted up. I don't think so. I don't think he's as of shooting. He hasn't tweeted about it yet. At least that's what I'm gonna say. But Twitter has already been making so much fun of fucking Kim Jong Un. I feel like if the North Korean government was to look at American Twitter, like before they shut this shit, they would actually shoot a nuke. Cause the shit that people were saying, talking, I wish I could find some of this shit. Now it's just Twitter is just fucking crowded with apology kind of tweets. Just people saying they were joking and shit. What? 2 days ago, the North Korea thread was fucking lit. People were belligerent. Yeah, I actually, there's too many tweets from today. People are bombarded the shit with shit that happened recently, but we need to stop trolling North Korea. That's the main takeaway, because that's not going to end well. And if Trump decides to troll North Korea, that's not going to be good.
Well, here I found one of Trump's tweets from earlier this month. God, it's one of these ones that's the ellipses at the end, so I don't know if I can find the other one here, but North Korea has just launched another missile. Does this guy have anything better to do with his life? Hard to believe that South Korea ... 5 dots. Why? So where's the... Is there an easy way to just find the next tweet?
He tweets too much, man. You're never going to find that shit.
God damn it.
Well, it's a good thing this happened on a Friday. More reason to drink. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Get fucked up.
Yeah.
Before we probably die this weekend.
Yeah, before the nuclear holocaust. So, yeah, I mean, that's something that's been looming over in our heads for a few decades. I think, our generation has kind of lost the nuclear holocaust fear. We didn't grow up climbing under our desks, what's going to happen when the bomb goes off. Spending time in our bomb shelters, maybe that's like a fundamental part of American culture that we're missing these days.
That's probably going to be a fundamental part of American history in like 10 years. Like, there's going to be people teaching how to take care of your bunker, shit that you can cook in your bunker. Martha Stewart is going to be doing bunker cooking classes and shit. It'll be fun. Yeah. Plus, I'm not going to be here. Fuck that. I'll go back to my country, man. I'm not going to fucking stay for a nuclear holocaust. Nothing happens in Ghana, man. Nothing fucking happens there. That's perfect. You guys can all die, man. It's all good.
Yeah, but that's the
nice.
nuclear holocaust. Like, I think what happens is the whole Earth gets covered with, like, a nuclear dust cloud.
It depends.
And everybody dies. It just wipes out life on the Earth.
That's if
no sunlight.
That's if what's supposed to happen happens.
You think it'll just be a little pocket or a little hole in the clouds?
If it's just one missile directed at America and America doesn't retaliate, or this again sounds fucked up, but if North Korea takes out America first and America doesn't get a chance to retaliate, and the Allies don't retaliate, because low-key, who really fucking likes America? No offense. Don't add that. Don't add that. Because America's allies are allies by necessity. And if, like, when 9/11 happened, they all...
Wait, you're saying, like, who likes the U.S. government, not necessarily who just likes America.
Yeah. I'm not saying as a country. I'm saying as a government, yeah. Because America's allies are allies by necessity.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But they were compassionate when 9/11 happened, and they pledged soldiers and troops and all that shit, and they gave it help. But with this president, they already kind of turning their back on America, and honestly, Germany has taken over the part of leader of the world again. Like, unofficially, Germany runs this shit now. America doesn't run shit no more, because America didn't, with the G20 shit that happened recently with fucking Trump. They basically turned their backs on America. Well, not really, but Unofficially. So I don't know how, if they're gonna aid America like how they did before. They're gonna retaliate to North Korea, which they. I don't know. You correct me if you want, but at least that's how I see it. And if that doesn't happen, I think, and the war doesn't retaliate back, and there's not a nuclear war or anything, I think Ghana will be safe. I'll be able to still be alive. Thank you for caring.
Alright, I'm moving to Ghana.
Yeah. Plus, if Ghana is not cool, I might go to Madagascar or some shit. Some fucking island or some shit. That might be fun. I could learn how to swim. Nah, I fucking know how to swim. Don't listen to... don't believe the stereotypes, but yeah.
Isn't Madagascar on the other side of Africa?
Yeah, it's by South Africa, that area.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little island. It's based on the movie Madagascar, if you might have heard of it.
They built the island after the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of stuff like that before. Okay, so Trump announces he's banning transgender people from serving in the military.
Via Twitter, as is normal now, as is the usual. Because now laws can be put in. You just tweet and that shit becomes real, apparently. That's the world we live in.
Yeah, on this particular story in general, I haven't heard anything. He supposedly did get input from generals on this, but let's see.
Yeah, but apparently a lot of the senior military officers didn't know shit about it. Like General McMaster was on fucking vacation, so he says he's talked to people, but the thing is it was literally just a tweet. There was no official legislation. There was nothing. Like, he hasn't signed shit, and the generals basically say till he signs something, nothing is gonna change. So I think it's pretty much safe because Trump still trying to figure out how to work his pen. I don't know, but he hasn't signed anything at the moment.
Well, yeah, and so here on Reuters we have a unnamed senior officer.
It's Trump. It's fucking Trump. Trump.
Well, no. Not. Yeah.
Was like
a lot of times, yeah, probably is Trump, but no, they're talking about in 3 officers interviewed saying, well, quote, I hope our commander-in-chief understands that we don't transmit orders via Twitter, and that he can't either. Yeah, so even if this were an order, implementing it legally would take considerable time, if it's even possible. So I'm guessing Trump didn't get the consultation with his generals. I mean, when Trump says something like that, it's kind of like maybe someone who was once a general said something to that he interpreted that way.
He's been listening to Ty Lopez's shit. He's speaking shit into existence. He's tweeting shit into existence for some reason. He really didn't consult with nobody, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, this one is pretty baffling to me. I don't really get how... Okay, so I think if I can understand why somebody would be supporting this, the only way I can really make sense of it is like people see it as like it's winning the culture war. Like some people on the right, especially like the alt-right people, take beef with transgender rights and just, I don't know. I've just heard the argument that the left kind of is always like putting the like trans rights in, I don't know, just like putting that everywhere, kind of like it's less of an issue than people on the left make it, but they kind of like use it as to like, I don't know, claim the victimization sort of thing. I don't know. I think it goes either way. I mean, friends I have that are trans, I have some that are, pretty aligned with that ideology on the left, that like LGBT, especially trans people, are like kind of under attack a lot of times in our society. I have another trans friend who just doesn't really think that at all. I think, that's kind of can vary individually. But I mean, I would say I think that is more of an idea of the left, is that they kind of have to constantly protect people like this. I mean, Trump doing something like this kind of proves their point, though, in a way. Because, I mean, it just seems totally unnecessary. We don't have any... So there hasn't really been any communication from the military on this, and now we have a quote here saying that, like, if it's even possible, like... It doesn't seem like this is really coming from the military, even though Trump kind of tried to say that it is.
It isn't.
To me, I'm trying to say if you can make sense of it at all, it seems like Trump is trying to appeal to the people on the right that are engaged in this culture war. That they feel like trans rights and trans acceptance and normalization and all that stuff is being like pushed down their throats, and they see this as like a backlash to that. Again, that's a stretch, though, because it's like, how would serving in the military prove that one way or the other? Also, is it possible? Is it legal? I don't even really get how that is going to work either, because it's like...
It's also kind of just attacking anything Obama's done. Obama recently allowed...
It was an Obama-era thing, yeah.
So it has to go. And it's probably on a list of shit that he can do. I'm telling you, it's a distraction. It's probably on a list of shit that he can do if he wants to throw off the scent for something, whatever. But I think this just means that people are getting close to whatever he's done. I honestly don't think the Russia shit was that deep. I honestly think that he kind of fell into a trap because I think there was some sort of communication or collusion. I don't know how much it was. It could be a shit ton. It could be a little. But I think there was something, and he's just trying to throw away the scent. I feel like that he might commit more crimes trying to prevent this shit than the shit that he actually did do, like, during the campaign. At least that's just what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've gone back and forth on this. I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, oh, man, I'm so tired of hearing about Russia. The media is just trying so hard. But also, well, like the tax returns thing. Why he got... really upset when he found out the special prosecutor Mueller would be possibly able to view his tax returns. I mean, and just the fact that we've gone this long without releasing the tax returns, and he's expressed that he has no interest in releasing them now. It's just like...
The fact that he cares so much about it is what makes people care. Because I don't remember hearing shit about Obama's. So, or even...
Well, it's because he released his.
Yeah. And if Trump released his, it probably, whatever was happening now would have been over. Like, at least tax returns wise, people would have stopped thinking about that at least a while ago if he didn't have shit to hide. So it just seems sketchy as fuck. At least that's the way I see it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think talking, like, so early on in the Trump campaign, when he's talking about Russia and like, hey, maybe we should be friends with Russia, or like maybe we should try to build a relationship, that does make sense to me, at least, because it's like we've been in this like post-Cold War state that's basically is the Cold War still. I mean, I guess a lessened version of it, but why? I mean, you meet people from Russia, you hear people go over there. I've never been there myself, but I have friends from there, and people are like, hey, for the most part, I mean, our cultures are really similar. We speak a different language. Our politics are a little bit different, but otherwise, like, for the most part, we're the same in a lot of ways. It's like, I don't really get why. And then the government differences, I mean, I feel like, yeah, that's all just kind of stuff that stems from the Cold War. I mean, we have this whole history of, in this has been kind of brought up in this debate as well, as has the U.S., done the same stuff we're accusing Russia of doing, being involved in elections stuff. I don't think that justifies it and says, like, hey, so that makes it okay for Russia to do it. But it's like, I think that you got to put that into the conversation, and that's got to be part of the context, because it's like, we're two superpowers who are just super suspicious of each other all the time.
Doing superpower shit.
Yeah.
Like, interfering and shit, and that's how that should go. But for the most part, America's been able to keep that to a level where it doesn't really, at least it hasn't visibly affected elections, or hasn't been huge scandal as to like the way it has progressed to now. But But I feel like both countries have been doing that in lesser known or lesser covered elections for a minute. At least not in both countries, not in Russia and America, but in places like Africa and maybe old Soviet Union countries. Like, but I don't know. I honestly just think this is interesting. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think in some way, it is going to bring the countries closer together in some weird way. Because now we're, like, getting into this, like, entangled...
If North Korea does anything, there's gonna have to be some conversation or at least some sort of diplomacy between Russia and America. And I might be wrong, but I think Russia might have an alliance with North Korea. Let me check.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's obviously they have a history together. They're border each other, but I think they're more like they tolerate each other than like have much of a relationship. Like they work together as much as they need to. Like Russia doesn't go and like condemn them and stuff, but they also just like don't fuck with them.
Yeah,
but I don't really know. There's probably a lot more to it. So
apparently, the Russia opposes UN sanctions, tighter economic sanctions on Pyongyang. So maybe, but
wait, they oppose sanctions,
yeah.
but I mean we're also sanctioning Russia.
Yeah. So that's what I'm reading now. Apparently, it's so that Russia seems like the Russian government seems like a bit like a stronger superpower, especially if they're opposing something that the U.S. is so like forthright about their position on North Korea. If they say they support, but the people that I think people are underestimating and not really counting in is China, because they are huge. They're a big part of this whole American North Korea thing. Because China still trades with North Korea. Like, most of their trade comes from China. Without China, North Korea is nothing. And countries like the UAE having like weapons deals with North Korea also kind of. So I don't know where the alliances lie. Because America has kind of a alliance with China, kind of, not really, but kind of, and they kind of, but not really do have with Russia too. The situation with China is not as bad as with Russia, but Russia technically is still an ally. But
Yeah.
it's honestly stupidly complicated, this whole shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why we have generals to take care of it. But well, I just think the video that we put that we're gonna link in is gonna be interesting to watch. If it makes you sad, shit, it makes you sad. That's just real life. But I think it's just interesting to think about and to recalibrate your opinion of where America stands in the world and their actual like reign. If they're actually the number one superpower, or if we might have been delusional this whole time. So I think that's just interesting to ponder. Yeah. And let us know what you think about that in the comments.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I do gotta pick up Ezra in half an hour here, so we should probably start to wrap it up. But was that everything on the?
Yeah, I think that would be a good place to end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. So this has been episode 1 of our show we're launching here.
People talk shit for a minute. We're workshopping that name, but shit.
Yeah. Yeah. If you watch this, if you want to like call in and talk to us, anything like that, we're gonna, pretty soon you're gonna be compelled to, because we're just not gonna be able to help it. We're gonna talk about such controversial shit that you're just gonna want to, call your mom and tell her that your feelings got hurt. I don't know where I'm going with this shit here.
He's trying to say that I might say some fucked up shit.
Basically, I was just trying to say that in a nice way.
Because he's definitely gonna edit out a bunch of the fucked up shit that I said. So just know that he's doing you a favor. Yeah, take it out on me, not him. Because well, see you next week. We'll be talking about trans people again. and we'll be talking to a person that had a kid with a trans person and see his opinions on it. Maybe you disagree, maybe you agree, but at least it'll be good to hear from a person who actually knows quite a bit about it. Yeah. Okay. Shit.
Yeah. All right. See you next week.
Yep.